Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is a video to help you unwind, relax, and let go of some of the stresses that you may have been holding on to, especially during the holiday season. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And you can either lie down or sit. But if you lie down, I suggest you get real comfortable with your favorite pillow and blanket, because I'm going to be taking you on a journey. I'm Groovy Kim. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Now let's begin. I'm going to be taking you through the woods on a snowy night, on a long journey. As the holiday season's near, I know a lot of us tend to carry a lot of stress in our bodies. We begin to ask ourselves each year, what is the meaning of the holiday season? And we begin to wonder about all the past triggers and stresses that may have bothered us during past get-togethers with family and friends. And sometimes we carry this stress literally in the tissues of our body. I invite you to take a slow, deep breath, and let's bring our attention to our neck and shoulders, which is a known spot to store stress. And with that, let's take another slow, deep breath and let our shoulders drop away from our ears and just let them relax and melt down. As we listen to our body, we may notice that we've been carrying stress in our back, our lower back, and in our hips. So go ahead and adjust yourself if you need to make your hips more comfortable. Another slow, deep breath. And picture the stress leaving your back and melting away into the surface that you're either lying on or sitting on. And let yourself rest now. We know that when we rest, our bodies can recharge. Our cells can rejuvenate and repair. Past triggers from past holiday seasons plague a lot of us, and it's normal to have those old memories come up again. But this season, I invite you to try something new. Just for a moment, put your focus on one of those triggers that you know will bother you, and it's going to be coming, and you foresee it coming, and you're having anxiety of it, thinking about it. I invite you to observe this from a different perspective, as the observer, detached from emotion, just for a moment. This allows you to see other options you may not have noticed. past resentments, and things that we should let go of that are stored in our bodies and cause anxiety. Sometimes can be hard to let go of. But if you allow yourself to become the observer and look at the bigger picture, you'll notice that the anxiety over the situation begins to lessen and lose its power over you. If you find your mind wandering, that's okay. Just come back to your breath and to my voice. And so with that, let's take another slow, deep breath and begin our story. The holidays are coming, and it's a time of year that in the past I really struggled with. But I've been working on myself, and I've been trying really hard to find new ways to have new perspectives and to look at old situations in new ways. My grandmother has invited me to Christmas this year. And at first, those old feelings of family members who may be there, who hurt me long ago, came up and almost gave me a sick feeling in my gut to think that I may have to face those people again who hurt me so badly in childhood. My first response was to say no. Oh, hell no, I'm not going. But then I remembered how hard I'd been working on myself over this past year, and how hard I'd been trying to change my perspective on the people and situations that hurt me in the past. And so, instead of saying no right away, I said, "Thank you for the invitation. I'll get back to you," and hung up politely. Now my grandmother lives in a beautiful cabin that her and my grandpa made by hand. They homesteaded years ago, came out west to Oregon, where they built their own log cabin in the woods. The same log cabin where I was born. My mother and father were very young when my mother became pregnant with me. She was only 16 years old. And so my great-grandmother and grandpa took them in so that my mother would have a safe place to stay and warm meals for her new baby, me. And we had a cow, and my grandmother would milk the cow. And we'd have fresh milk and butter. She taught me how to churn butter when I was a little girl. And so this is the same cabin in the woods that I am now to make a journey back to for this holiday season. So I gather up my things and I began the long road trip to Oregon, to the cabin in the woods where my great-grandmother and grandfather live. I'm excited to see them. It has been a while. I think of all the wonderful things my grandmother always makes for Christmas. I remember all the wonderful smells in her kitchen. And as I pack my items and look through my luggage one last time, I make sure I have everything in order. Don't forget the toothbrush. Oh yes, cell phone charger. Cell phone charger, what am I saying? There's no cell phone service in her cabin in the woods. Oh well, at least I have my warm coat, scarf, and mittens. I'm gonna have a lot of fun when I'm there, because I love to play in the snow, and there's gonna be plenty of that. So one last minute check, and I put my last suitcase in the car. And pull out of the driveway. It's been a while since I've gone on a long road trip. I wonder what the pass is going to be like. I love driving in the snow, but I know sometimes the pass can be real scary and slippery. I had a near call in the past. Almost hit a semi once, slipped in the snow with my little Honda Accord. Scared the hell out of me. I took a vow to never cross the pass in the wintertime again. But this time was different. I didn't know how much longer my great-grandmother would have to live, or my grandfather. They were getting up in years. And I didn't know when I would ever see the rest of my family again either. Although I wasn't sure who was going to be there and who wouldn't. So I started out down the lonely highway, headed toward the mountains. I don't live too far from the mountains, so it only took me about an hour to get to the top of the pass, and when I did, boy, the snow started to come down hard. But fast forward a few hours, I've been on the road now for quite a while. I'm starting to get almost whiteout conditions. Thank goodness I'm past the top of the pass, past the summit, but the whiteout conditions are making it almost impossible to see the side of the road. I'm having a hard time staying in my lane. It sure is pretty out though. Now and then I catch glimpses of the densely forested scenery beside me on both sides of the road. I'm just creeping along as slow as I can because I want to stay safe. It's so quiet out here. So peaceful. I must be going about 2 miles an hour, but I'm rather enjoying it. It's really getting dark and I can see the snow in my headlights. It's coming down pretty hard. I feel like I've come down the mountain quite a ways now. I must be getting close to the sleepy town. The sleepy town of Cottage Grove. though she lives several miles outside of it, way out in the mountains, up in the woods, where I loved to play as a child. I must be getting closer now. Boy, the snow sure is coming down hard. I can barely see. What's that up ahead? It looks like a sign. Oh, good. Cottage Grove. 3 miles. 3 more miles to go. Oh, wonderful. I can't wait to get there. It's been quite a long drive. And you know, when it's snowing this hard, I find myself kind of gripping the steering wheel tighter than I need to. And loosen my grip a little bit and relax. I'm almost all the way off the mountain now and heading down towards the valley. Okay, it looks like I'm almost to the turnoff where I head up to the hill where she lives. I used to know these roads like the back of my hand. I haven't been here in years, though. Something's not quite right. It doesn't look the same. I don't recognize anything anymore. Well, it has been at least 30 years since I've been there. I was pretty young the last time I visited. I wonder where the old grocery store is. There used to be only one in town. I remember the old man that worked there. He was such a nice old man. He always used to give me candy when Grandma would bring me into the store. I remember that nice old man. I wish I could remember his name. It's such a faint memory, but a lovely one. I remember he always had a white apron. It was a little family-owned grocery store. And I think the man ran the cash register and the butcher counter in the back. And I think his wife ran the bakery. And their teenage son was the box boy. It was a very nice family. One of those little towns, you know, where everybody knows everybody. And everybody's willing to help everybody. Ah, such warm feelings of that little town. It's so strange how I don't recognize anything anymore. I feel like I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. This road doesn't look familiar at all. My goodness. I took a look at my gas gauge. Well, I'm not on empty. I still have a little bit left, but it's getting awfully low. I better find her home soon. I'm thinking about all the people I might see. My anxiety level is starting to rise. So I take another slow, deep breath and try to calm myself, because I know I'm getting very near. I can feel it. You know the feeling you get when you're almost home? And it's been a really long time. There's a certain feeling that arises in your heart. A sense of belonging. That's the feeling I have right now. And it's a wonderful, warm feeling. It's kind of funny, but the anxiety is starting to leave, and I begin to wonder, is that the training I had over this past year? All those countless meditations I participated in, teaching myself to let go of anxiety at will, catching myself holding my shoulders up tight and remember to drop them. Remember to check and see if I'm holding my breath and let it out and take another slow, deep breath. All this training, I'm noticing, is really working. Here I am, driving around on a snowy night, almost out of gas, and I'm kind of lost, and I'm not sure what I'll find when I get there. But for some reason, I feel calm and at peace. I'm kind of marveling at myself. I kind of can't believe it. Yeah, this is the new me. I like it very much. What a relief. And then I had an old memory just now of how it used to be. I actually used to have a panic attack just crossing the pass, thinking about old memories and old people and places. That didn't happen this time. It crossed my mind and I thought about it, but this time I observed it. And curiously enough, it didn't bother me this time. I was more looking at it for what it is. Oh my goodness, I think I just spotted her home. I did. That's it. That's it. Oh yes, that's the mailbox. I see it now. Oh my goodness. There aren't any cars in the driveway. Except for Grandpa's. I see Grandpa's car. No one else is here. Oh. Okay. Well, that's okay. Roll with the punches, right? I'll just park right here. Wow, the snow is really deep here. Goodness, I hope I can open the car door. Give it a nice little shove. Yeah, the snow is up to the door all right. Little bit harder shove. There, I got it. I'm so glad I wore my snow boots. Boy, it's still touching the tops of my boots. I can feel it starting to warm through my jeans. Melt through my jeans. It's getting cold on my knees already. I'm not even to the front porch yet. I can't even get the car door closed. Oh my goodness. I better slip my mittens on and dig the snow out around my door a little better so I can get it closed. Oh, the porch light just got brighter. Grandpa must have heard me. There, I've got my mittens on. I'll just dig out some snow here. There. Yes, Grandpa, I'm okay. He just asked me if I was okay. I love my Grandpa so much. He's always been such a kind man. Such a loving man. He used to take me salmon fishing when I was little. He has a wonderful grandfather clock that he winds every night before he goes to bed. One of my favorite memories as a child is watching Grandpa wind that clock every night before bed. Okay, I've got the door closed to the car now, and I can trudge through the snow up to their front porch. Wow, the cabin is just as beautiful as I remembered. Oh, look, Grandpa has Christmas lights all over the place. It's just gorgeous. I was so busy digging out the car door I hadn't looked up to notice all the work he'd done. Oh, wow, it's a dark night indeed, but the glowing lights all around make it so magical in the woods. All the glowing colors of gold and red from the lights glisten on the snow and bounce off the trees. The reflection bounces all around the forest as if there's magical spirits floating around. It's just beautiful. Grandpa and I give each other a great big warm hug and kiss. Ah, it feels so good. It's been so long since I felt his strong, warm hands hug me. He was always one of those people in my childhood that I can rely on. They would just be friendly and there. I had other relatives that weren't like that, that were scary. Scary as a child. But not this grandpa. This great-grandpa was warm and friendly, and very kid-friendly. He loved to play with us. He loved to be silly and make us giggle. I loved that about him. Stomp the snow off my boots and come on in. Oh, look, they've got a warm fire going in the fireplace. Oh, I can't wait to get my coat and boots off and go stand by the fire. Oh, it's crackling. Oh, and there's Grandma. She's standing in the kitchen. I see her. Hi, Grandma. Oh, my favorite great-grandma. She's my only great-grandma. Oh, my favorite great-grandma. I love you so much, Grandma. Oh, warm holiday hugs. There's nothing like warm holiday hugs. Let it sink in to your very bones. The love, the nurturing kindness that only a grandmother can give, that only a mother can give, that only someone who loves you very, very dearly with all their heart can give. After our warm greetings that seemed like they lasted forever, we finally let go of our embrace, and I couldn't help it. I had to wander into the kitchen and just see what those wonderful smells were. There were smells of gingerbread and hot cocoa. I grabbed myself a cup of hot cocoa and throw a big old marshmallow in there, and it starts to melt right away, and the steam wafting off the hot cocoa. Oh, it brings back such warm memories. I take a nice sip, not too much. It's kind of scalding hot still. I best let it cool a little. Oh goodness, Grandma brought out my old slippers. Aren't they cute? Too bad they don't fit me anymore. I can't believe she kept them after all these years. 2 little pink fuzzy slippers. Such memories. Oh, look, I just spotted Grandpa's clock. Here I go again, back to the living room. I just came to the kitchen. I'm so excited to see the old cabin and my grandma and grandpa. It's just like old times. Ah, and there she is, the beautiful grandfather clock in all her glory, just as I remembered. And the stenciled beautiful hand painting on the face that my father did when he was only 18 years old, and I was just born. That's the story I've been told. You can see the beautiful toll painting on it still. It's just gorgeous. Back to the kitchen, back to my warm, hot cup of cocoa. I have a seat at the kitchen table with Grandma, and we begin our warm, loving, kind talk. The kind of talk we used to have when I was a child that seemed to just last forever because we had so much to talk about, so much to catch up on. And she's such a wise woman. I love to listen to her stories. I ask her, where is everybody? Oh my, she says. Well, now that is a story. As I listened, I soon learned that some of my relatives, whom I hadn't seen in years because I had been estranged from them, had now since passed on. It stung a little at first, but remembering all the training I had, I soon caught myself, and I right away tried to step back from the situation and listen to her intently, with love, yet as an observer. And as she explained who had passed on, I began to think of all the past memories I had with that person and all the times they had hurt me. And a funny thing happened. As my grandmother's warm and loving voice kept speaking, something washed over me. I began to let go. I began to let go in a way I had never let go before. I began to forgive. That's what it was. Forgiveness. I always knew that forgiveness was important, and I kind of thought I had. But I guess I hadn't. Not really. Not until now. It was like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. And I realized those people weren't ever going to hurt me again. And all the anxiety I had had about them during my trip was for naught. And I was glad that I was able to let it go so easily. I was proud of myself. I could see all the gains I had made, all the progress I had made, the way I handle things and process now. Night and day. My grandmother was looking at me by now. She could tell that I had drifted off in my thoughts. Is everything okay? She asked. Yeah, Grandma. In fact, better than they've ever been. She said, you look relieved. I said, I am. I finally forgave. A big tear welled up in her eyes. She knew exactly what I was talking about. She knew what I meant. Yet, we didn't have to say anything. We gave each other another great big hug. Only this one lasted longer. Even longer. I could feel her heartbeat. against mine in our embrace. That grandmotherly love was so strong, so magnetic. And I knew that she always had my back, was always on my side. I could always rely on her too, just like Grandpa. She said, we have a big day tomorrow. I said, I know. I want to go sledding. And I also want to build a snowman. She giggled. A snowman? I said, yeah, a snowman. She said, I remember when you used to do that. Every time it snows. It's the law for me. We both laughed. All right then, she said. Would you like a cookie before bed? You know it. All right then, she said. I'll go get you a nice warm glass of milk. Milk, I said. When I was a kid, I liked that. But Grandma, I have to tell you, I don't drink milk that often anymore. She laughed. Oh, you're on that healthy thing. Yeah, I am, Grandma. You have any tea? Why, yes, I do. Christmas tea. Yay! That's wonderful, I said. A cup of Christmas tea with my grandma, my great-grandma. You know, that makes it pretty great. We both smiled and hugged again. After a bit, Grandpa was tired and he got up and wound the clock. Good night, everybody, he said. Good night, Grandpa. And off to bed he went, just as he had always done. My tea was almost gone now. And I had eaten 2 of Grandma's ginger snap cookies. My tummy was pretty full. And after that long drive in the winter snow with those driving conditions, I was really tired. So, the next time she mentioned bed, I agreed without hesitation. Yeah, a nice long winter's nap is gonna be awesome. Okay then, she said. Why don't you go get ready for bed and get snuggly, and I'll be there to tuck you in. All right, I said. But Grandma, I'm in my 50s now. We both laughed. She said, so? You're never too old to be tucked in by your grandma. True that, I said. I'll meet you there. So, after I brushed my teeth, I went potty, brushed my hair one last time, got my pajamas on, I went and jumped into bed, my old bed, in my old bedroom, in the cabin, in the woods, that Grandma and Grandpa built with their own 2 hands, with the fire going in the fireplace, keeping the old cabin warm and snuggly. As I drifted off to sleep, I began to rise up above my body. And before I knew it, I was drifting up above the cabin. and I could see the snow was still falling. Not quite as heavy. Now it was the gentle kind of snow. The kind that just kind of drifts side to side, gently floating down. Here and there, light, little flurries here and there. In my dream, I'm really warm. Even though the woods are cold and snowy, I don't feel it at all. I'm extremely warm. Very comfortable. I'm rising higher and higher now. The cabin is getting smaller and smaller, although I can still see Grandpa's Christmas lights down below, twinkling amongst the snowy trees, flickering far below. I turn to look up to the night sky. There's a full moon. I can still feel the warmth of my grandmother's hug deep inside my body. My heart can still feel her. It's a deep love we've always had. When I was real little, she told me we were kindred spirits. I wondered what kindred spirits meant, and when I grew a little older, I realized how special that is. It's a deep connection between two beings who understand and love each other on the deepest levels. The night sky is really dark, except there's a full moon peeking between the clouds, comfortably drifting, floating, so relaxing, calming, peaceful. I just realize how comfortable I am. Drifting, floating, though I'm nearing the age of 60, I've just visited my great-grandmother. I realize what a wonderful, lucid dream this is. What beautiful lessons it contains. Drifting deeper. Such gratitude for the beauty life has shown me. Peaceful, drifting, so calm, peaceful,